She looked radiant in her gown, holding the bouquet tightly. But inside her chest, her heart pounded with something heavier than joy-fear. As Emily prepared to walk down the aisle, her maid of honor slipped a small envelope into her hand. Emily frowned. "What is this?" The maid of honor hesitated, then whispered, "It was left at the front desk for you. No name, just urgent." Emily's hands trembled as she opened the envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter. The first line froze her blood. "Emily, if you go through with this wedding, you'll regret it for the rest of your life." She nearly dropped the paper. Her eyes darted across the room, scanning the guests. Who had written this? The letter continued. "I know something about your fiancé, something he's been hiding from you. And once you know, you'll understand why I couldn't stay silent." Emily's knees weakened. She wanted to scream. But before she could finish the letter, the doors opened. The music swelled. Her fiancé stood at the altar, smiling, and the priest called out, "Please rise to the bride." Emily clutched the unfinished letter in her hands, her face pale. She whispered under her breath, "Oh my God, if this is true, I can't marry him." But the next line of the letter caught her eye, making her heart stop. "He's not who you think he is. And if you want proof, look behind you right now." Emily turned her head slowly. Emily's breath caught in her throat. Standing at the very back of the church was a man in a dark suit, half hidden by the crowd. Her eyes widened, because she knew that face. It was Daniel, the man she had loved years ago, the man who disappeared without a trace. Her mind spun. Why was he here? Why now of all days? The letter slipped in her hand. She looked down at the unfinished words. Asked him about the night of the accident. He never told you the truth. Emily's heart raced. Accident? What accident? Her fiancé at the altar smiled warmly, oblivious. But Emily's hands were trembling so badly, the bouquet nearly fell. The priest's voice boomed. "Do you, Emily, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?" The guests leaned forward, waiting for her answer. Emily opened her mouth, but no words came. Her eyes flicked again to the back of the church. Daniel was gone. Panic flooded her. She unfolded the last line of the letter and read in horror, "If you don't stop this wedding, you'll end up like me." Her knees buckled. She nearly collapsed. Emily's mind spiraled. She glanced at her fiancé, standing confidently at the altar, smiling as if nothing was wrong. But now, every smile, every touch, every whispered promise felt like a lie. What accident? What truth? She thought, gripping the letter so tightly it crumpled. When the priest repeated the vow, Emily's voice broke. I need a moment." Gasps filled the church. Guests whispered. Her fiancé's smile faltered. Emily clutched her dress and rushed into the side hallway, heart pounding. There, leaning against the wall, waiting was Daniel. Emily's voice shook. "Daniel, you're alive, but you've disappeared. Why are you here?" Daniel's eyes darkened. "Because, Emily, he's the reason I disappeared. And the accident wasn't an accident at all." Her blood ran cold. "What are you saying?" she whispered. Daniel pulled a small photograph from his pocket, torn, faded, and stained. He pressed it into her trembling hands. Emily's eyes widened in horror as she looked at the photo. It was her fiancé, standing beside a wrecked car, with someone's lifeless hand visible on the ground. Before she could speak, Daniel leaned closer and whispered, "That hand was supposed to be mine." Emily dropped the photo. Her scream caught in her throat. Emily's hands trembled as the photograph slipped from her fingers. Her fiancé's voice echoed down the hallway. "Emily, what are you doing out here? The guests are waiting." She turned to see him approaching, his smile forced, his eyes narrowing as they flicked to Daniel. Emily's voice cracked. "Is it true? Were you there the night of the accident?" Her fiancé froze. His jaw clenched. "Who filled your head with lies?" He snapped, his voice low and dangerous. Daniel stepped forward. "I did, because I lived through it, and I saw everything." Gasps erupted as several guests peeked out from the doors. Hearing the commotion, the fiancé's face darkened, a mask of fury breaking through his polished charm. "You should have stayed gone, Daniel," he hissed. Then, lowering his voice so only Emily could hear. "If you knew what I've done to keep this secret, you'd run too." Emily staggered back, fear flooding her chest. "Oh my God, what are you hiding?" Before he could answer, Daniel pulled something from his jacket, a folded police report. He threw it at Emily's feet. "Read it, Emily, and you'll see who you're about to marry." Emily bent down, her eyes racing across the page, until they froze on one damning sentence. Her lips parted in horror, wanted for manslaughter. She looked up, but her fiancé was gone. Emily's wedding day unraveled when Daniel, the man she thought was gone, revealed the truth. Her fiancé was hiding a deadly secret. He was wanted for manslaughter, but before anyone could react, he disappeared. Panic erupted inside the church. Guests whispered, confusion spread, and Emily's heart thundered as she clutched the police report in her shaking hands. Daniel grabbed her wrist. "We can't let him escape, Emily. If he runs, he'll do it again." Together, they rushed outside. Rain poured over the church steps, soaking her dress. And there he was. Her fiancé stood at the end of the path, his eyes cold, a cruel smile twisting his lips. Emily's voice broke through the storm. "Why didn't you tell me? Why hide this from me?" Her fiancé's face twisted with rage. "Because you would have left me, just like everyone else." Daniel stepped forward, his fists clenched. "You don't deserve her. You don't deserve freedom." The tension snapped like lightning. The storm raged, and Emily realized her choice would decide everything. Emily dropped the bouquet, falling into his arms as the storm washed everything clean. Her fiancé lunged, but Daniel blocked him. A fight broke out in the rain, brutal and raw. Emily screamed, but Daniel overpowered him, pinning him to the ground just as police sirens wailed in the distance. The fiancé was dragged away, shouting Emily's name in desperation. She turned to Daniel, tears streaming. "Why did you come back?" Daniel's voice softened. "Because I never stopped loving you."